G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to IL-2 Great Battles multiplayer, and this time we are in VR. So this engagement was recorded on the weekly Unprofessional server flyout, more about that a little bit later, and of course we're bringing out the Focke-Wulf D-9. I really haven't had this on channel all that much, but it's perfect time for it today. So anyways, while we get this beast fired up and get into the air, I want to quickly answer a couple of questions in regards to VR that have popped up on my last couple of videos. So first things first, the vibration you are seeing right now and the tracking. The slight vibration will lessen once we get into the air, but it's actually kind of normal, and no, there is no issues with the tracking taking place. Everything inside of the HMD is perfectly smooth, no problems at all. The small vibration you're seeing is actually caused by, well, your own body. The human head, no matter how smooth you think you're moving your head around, does actually have a slight vibration in it. The vibration can be caused by adrenaline, fatigue, even your own pulse can cause a rhythmic movement inside of your own head. But you don't realize it because your eyes and your brain automatically adjust for it. In VR, the HMD itself is struck directly to your head, so it's picking up all those movements. Inside the HMD, your eyes and your brain are doing exactly what it normally does, and it's filtering it out. But the HMD will pick up all of these movements on a mirror like what you're seeing here, which is the normal aspect ratio display of what's going inside of the HMD. Now, some games do have a smoothing, I suppose algorithm is the way to put it, that will smooth this out. War Thunder, surprisingly, is one of them, which is why you don't tend to see these movements in the War Thunder videos. It tends to come back very smoothly. The War Thunder replay system automatically smooths out all head tracking, whether it be VR or whether or not it be track IR. IL-2 doesn't seem to have this in place at the moment, which is unfortunate. It's something I would like to see them add, but it does mean that it doesn't really matter what you do, you're going to be getting those vibrations. How smooth I can get them comes down to how smooth I can keep my own head movements, which is something I do need to work on, and I will actively be working on as we do more VR recordings, but that's what that comes from. Inside the HMD, it is tracking perfectly, it is smooth, it is fantastic. I'm really enjoying flying in VR. Now, the second thing to mention is things aren't always picked up in the mirror, so if you're paying attention then, you would have noticed a moment when it just happened then. I was looking around the front of the cockpit with the HMD, but the camera itself was fixed in one position, and then it jumped. You'll see exactly what happens just about now. So, what I'm actually seeing at that point is the map. Now, the main camera for the playback for the mirror locks until I close the map down and then jumps to exactly where I'm looking. Inside of the HMD, however, I'm looking around the entire time. In fact, I can lean around and read the gauges behind the map while the map is up. If I want to, there's no real reason to, but I can do that as an option. So some of the jumpy movements you see on replay or mirror playback are actually related to things that the replay or the mirror can't actually display. I can tell you right now, the motion inside of the headset was completely smooth with no problems at all. So that's just wanted to really show that that's what is actually going on. The glitches in the War Thunder replays, where the camera is sort of bouncing around, that's a glitch unique to the replay itself. It's not something that is related to the HMD at all. That's a War Thunder thing. The jumpy movements here are generally me accessing a map or me accessing the current scoreboard while I'm flying, because it appears in exactly the same way as a sort of curved holographic display that appears in front of my face, and it will lock up the camera for a few seconds while I'm checking it, at least in the playback. In the HMD, it's perfectly fine. But anyways, onto the fight. So this short engagement took place near the end of the Unprofessional server flyout. I spent most of the night playing around with my VR in order to be able to do this. I think I've got it all sorted out now for IL-2 at the very least. Now, the Unprofessional server is designed to be very new player friendly. As a result, unless we're running specific ops, as a general rule on the Unprofessional's Discord, everybody will just pile into the one communications channel regardless of what side you're flying for. Sometimes it's so you can give advice to people that are engaging you, new players that are learning to fly and fight. Sometimes it's just so you can, rag shit on your mates while you're trying to shoot them down, which is the case with this particular engagement. So this is me in the D-9 versus Dead Meat in the P-47 Razorback. Both of us are flying in VR and both of us have very similar flight sim setups. So I hope you enjoy.
Although, if I put some bullets through his fuel tanks, maybe.
Probably won't even do anything at this point.
Well, find out.
Whoa,
Oh, you pulled back too hard. Saw that.
I did. Alright, I see you too.
Get any hits?
Nope. I see T.Flight, I'm not sure if it's them too. It is.
Rightio. Extend my breath back. You got something on your tail there, Mags.
Fuck, I hope not.
Or are you on someone else's tail?
I don't think Dora's fire red traces.
Yeah, well, in case. No. No. That was bad. Come on, get back control. Where's up? No. Well, that's awkward. Blew out my... You knocked me out and then blew out my ailerons.
Now, I wasn't alone here.
Sure you were.
I made a very tactical and very accidental withdrawal. In the process of a flat spin.
It's okay. Well,
I did.
Alright, so just a quick engagement overall and playing around with a few new editing techniques. I'm sure Dead Meat's going to come back and shoot me down the very next fly out to get revenge for that as well, but that was fun regardless. So, this is what I'm going to be doing with IL-2 into the future, and I am going to be getting back onto my single player playthrough that I have not finished at this point. It was put on hold due to events towards the end of the year. Unfortunate, but we will be getting back onto that and I'll be finishing it up, and I will be finishing it up in VR with editing, much like what you're seeing here. So anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this and thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video, what you thought of the editing, what you think of this setup, and if you want to see more. I will have a video on the PC that I'm actually running to do all this, as well as my hardware and cockpit setup coming very, very soon. In fact, I'd planned to do those before Christmas and New Year's, but again, the end of the year kind of bet me down a little bit. But we're going to get back onto it. Anyways, guys, until next time, remember to click that like button if you did, share and subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.